Hey everyone, Nick here again, back to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, and this is my review of episode 5 of season 4, and this episode, man, I mean, I'm about to use a word that does not often apply to the Walking Dead universe. Heartwarming. This was a very heartwarming episode. It was a character-driven episode, specifically John Dorie and Naomi, or Laura, as he calls her, and as the episode is called. And, for sure, John Dorie was the main focus of this episode. And, I mean, he has been cemented as just an incredible character. He is cool, he is likable, he's a good guy, and he is, without a doubt, my favorite character in the history of Fear the Walking Dead. By a sizable margin, and the general consensus with everyone is that he's everyone's new favorite character. But Naomi does deserve some praise as well. She's a very well-written character, a very believable character, and she's also really likable, and she's definitely a good person. And I loved the dynamic they had. They had such amazing dialogue with each other. And, I mean, the romantic scenes between them were really touching. It was really nice and refreshing to see something positive. My reaction video was shorter than they've usually been. And, you know, on the surface that might seem like, oh, well, there wasn't a lot to react to. It was just a boring episode. But no, that is not the case here. Because I just found myself just engrossed by the episode. That's a word I've seen thrown around a lot describing this episode, and I happen to agree with it. I found myself just sitting there, just captivated by it. So, obviously that doesn't really play well in the form of a reaction video, particularly when I don't have the editing technology to actually edit in the episode footage itself. So yeah, there wasn't a lot for me to include, but I mean, that's really actually a positive trait of the episode, that I was just so captured by it. It had me. It absorbed me. And that is the mark of something truly special. But at the end of the day, this is The Walking Dead, so it still needs to have some good zombie scenes. Did those deliver? Of course they did. They were exciting, as always. In particular, the part when a giant wave, basically, of zombies washed up on John Dorie's front door. And yeah, that was a really intense scene. I thought it was really well done. I mean, yeah, I knew they were both alive, at least past this point. But, you know, still, it was really exciting to see. And when John finally busted out his guns at the end, that was pretty cool to see. And also, his whole backstory with why he didn't like guns back then and is hesitant to use them in the present timeline. I thought that was really well done. It was really interesting to hear, and he delivered it well. Just everything backstory related in this episode I thought was really well done. Best performance of the week, I mean, there were only 2 main stars in the episode, and then Morgan showed up at the very end, so it's not like there's a lot to choose from. And honestly, I think Garrett Dillahunt takes this one, because he proved that John Dorie is a really good guy. Like, he seemed a little too good to be true for some people, but he really is that good of a guy. And he had just such an emotional commitment to the role, and I thought it was really well done. But Jenna Elfman was also really good, and I've honestly never really cared much about her as an actress. So, yeah, both of them were really good, but I'm giving the edge to Garrett Dillahunt on this one. And the end of this episode, where Naomi/Laura left him, it was sad, but it was also kind of hopeful, because, yeah, Alicia said that she's dead, but, you know, we didn't see a body. And 9 times out of 10, particularly on this show, when you don't see a body, they're not dead. And yeah, it was just a hopeful vibe to it. Even though John thinks she might actually be dead, he's still hopeful that he can keep on living. Because Morgan talks him into going back to the others and just making a go of it with them. I'm giving this episode a 10 out of 10. It was so good. It was so well made, and this is, for sure, the best episode of Fear the Walking Dead of all time. And I'm pretty sure that is the second time I've said that so far this season. Because that's how good it is so far. I think once in an earlier episode I said this is definitely among the best episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. This one right here, the best. And, you know, between The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, there have been 12 seasons so far. And I know it's probably still a little too early to say for sure, but Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, in my opinion, at least so far, is in the top 5 of all seasons of the 2 shows. It is that good, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. So yeah, that'll do it for this video, and I will see you next time.